Now, I almost want to do a whole session on this daddy issues concept because I think this is one of the most popularly used terms, but one of the most misunderstood concepts. And what I mean is the following: people say a girl has daddy issues because her father wasn't there. Okay, she has daddy issues because he wasn't there. Okay. Then you have women whose father was there their whole life. Then they say she has daddy issues because he didn't treat her right or he did fill in the blank. Oh, okay. Well, what does this term daddy issues really mean then? Is it the absence of the father? Is it the presence of the father? Is it the presence of the father and she didn't respect what he was saying? Is it the presence of the father and he was abusing her or the mother? What creates the daddy issues? Because I've seen situations up close and personal where I know the father, I know the daughter. The father was there her whole life. He served as a good provider and good leader. And the daughter went to school and got filled up with feminism and hates what the father represents, even though he did everything, at least on the surface of things, he did most of the things right. Does she have daddy issues? What exactly are daddy issues? That itself could be an entire live session that we can dig into very deeply. But let me say this simply. If the girl doesn't respect her father, you are going to encounter much challenge with this girl. And I also want to echo a video that I made previously. I think it's a 1.5, 2 hour stream, and I think it's entitled Why I Don't Like White Girls Who Date Black Guys. And what I'm really talking about is white females who like preference black males. It's strange. One, it's strange because you ain't black. Why would you preference black guys if you ain't black? Number two, why would you preference the person who fits into the demographic that is the most downtrodden in global society? In America, African Americans have the lowest levels of educational attainment, excluding the Native Americans. We have some of the lowest measures on economic enfranchisement. We have some of the highest rates of incarceration. Why would you preference that demographic? And if you look globally, when you look at the black peoples of the world, they're in the greatest levels of poverty. You look at Haiti, or you look at Central African Republic, you look at just staggering levels of poverty, it's African countries. And you also look at disease ecology, it's also African countries. So why would you preference the person in that demographic? There's something weird there. It just doesn't make sense on the face of it. So I say that because that's an expression of daddy issues. If you're a white daughter and you preference black men who, like on the surface of things, do not reflect your father, this is probably an expression of you having some repulsion with your father. So did a whole video on it. You can go and cross-reference it. But daddy issues is essentially the concept of her not respecting her father, if we want to simplify it for the purpose of this video and staying on track. If she doesn't respect her father, unlikely she's truly going to respect you, and unlikely she's truly going to believe in patriarchy, which is male leadership. And patriarchy has become a dirty word in this era. Now, the second piece is she's very active on social media, but doesn't make money on social media. These are clues that you can utilize to understand if you're dealing with a girl who likely has a significant nuclear capacity. Why might this girl have a nuclear capacity if she's very active on social media, but she doesn't make any money? That means she's doing it for the attention and for the clout. If she's doing it for the attention and for the clout, that means she's indiscriminate in who fills her love tank, if you will. I've been blessed to have some really submissive females that, truth be told, only person they really cared about was me. Like, in terms of, I'm gonna put on these clothes, Marquett needs to like them. You heard me? Like, I'm gonna put on some makeup if Marquett wants to see makeup. Everything that they did was about Marquett. And so their love tank was only gonna get filled up if I said, that's a nice outfit. 30 dudes could have walked by, that's a nice outfit. And they'd be like, Thanks. They waiting for me to say it. But if you have a female who seeks attention indiscriminately, that means that you don't matter as much. And if you don't matter as much, you're more likely to be treated with the regard of a stranger, which means that when things go awry and there's conflict, she'll do you dirty like you were a stranger. It's easy for you to become an enemy, which is to say, like, if I had a fight with my blood brother, I'd not put him down, but I wouldn't stomp him out. That's just not right. But if I had a fight on the streets with a stranger, I'm for sure going to stomp him out. You see, there are different ways you treat family or people who are familiar, people who matter versus strangers. But if she seeks the attention of strangers, you and strangers, your attention has the same value. You occupy similar positions in her life, which are largely of irrelevance because she's a narcissist. And in as much as she's a narcissist, when anything threatens her ego, she will choose her ego's life and your death. So she for sure will do you dirty in a real way. Take that one seriously. That's a lot of game now. Let that one soak in. Let me give you another clue that she might hit you with the nuclear option. Major clue is that she's very secretive. Well, isn't that one of the major aspects of the nuclear option is it has to catch you off guard. In boxing, they say the punch that knocks you out is the one that you don't see. That's the one that hurts the most. And when a woman's very secretive, she's going to hit you with some strategies, some passive aggression, some tactics that you don't see coming. And that's why it's so dangerous to you. You think everything's all good, and then all of a sudden you get served with divorce papers. Whoa. And what that means is that while you had not a clue and you were living your life, she had lawyered up on you. She had started protecting her assets. She started squirreling away money that you don't know about, whether it's in cash or it's in accounts that you can't access. And she started doing all of that in preparation of the time when she would serve you with those divorce papers, because she's a secretive person. So if you're dealing with a female who's a secretive individual, there's so many different things she can do to hurt you. I'll give you another example that might be closer to home for some of you guys. Secretive, meaning she wants to do things on her own. She wants to conceal things from you. Secretive. Say, you maxing her out, right? And then she ends up pregnant. Rather than letting you know straight away, hey, I'm pregnant. What should we do? I'm pregnant. What should we do? Joint decision. You're my leader. I'm bringing the information to you so we can make a joint decision. Instead, she's secretive about it and then brings it to you late to where it's too late for you to make a decision on it. Say, hey, I just realized I was pregnant. Or it turns out I've been pregnant for 2 months and, oh, you in the state of Georgia or you in the state of fill in the blank. Oh, well, we didn't pass the threshold to where you can actually get this taken care of. So now we're having a baby. But what she did was she set it up to where she was secretive about the whole thing. And now she's telling you 2 months after she knew, and she might have even told her homegirl. She might have even told her mom, but she didn't tell you because she's secretive. And now you cannot make this critical decision that's going to impact the rest of your life. She's secretive. So she basically just hit you with the nuclear option, and it came from her secretive nature. So if you can observe her secretive nature early, then you will be protected.